there's a big thing that we're not really discussing, well, you are, in this conversation, is AI.
Sure.
That, as well as national insurance, there will be, predictions are that by 2027, AI will automate a vast quantity of the labour market.
Of course it will.
What is there for people of our generation to do? How can we counter that?
Well, the good thing is a million things. This, for example, being human will be the most important thing. And that's a very big change for the last 300 years, where I think before then being human was also very important. Because actually today, being a lawyer is more important, being working for Freshfields or KPMG, that's who you are. Whereas when these big organisations automate more, there were less people in formal employment like that. And so we'll be our individual sole agent again, which is amazing. So if you look at the education system, it's entirely equipped for the future. It's designed for a Victorian or Edwardian, either manufacturing function or clerical function, white collar worker, to keep books or do stuff on a computer, eventually evolved into that. So we haven't actually had massive change in workforce sort of principles for about 150 years. And that's going to completely change. And my view is we should be teaching new skills like rhetoric, which are the ancient arts of being yourself, of grammar, logic and articulation. So grammar is learning stuff, so knowing things like you're learning your law degree. Logic is the dialectic, the articulation, what is truth, which we've stopped working out how to get to. And then articulation, how you authentically project that or who you are. And that's not about sort of being a slick salesman. In fact, when you listen to people who you find really authentic, sometimes you find them actually being quite ineloquent in a classical sense, whatever it may be, humble and homespun. Or maybe it is being a very effective communicator in terms of sort of language and so on. But that's going to be the future. It's going to be rhetoric. It's going to be who we are as a human. And it's an amazing future for us. I'm so excited. You're so lucky because you're not going to have to be a lawyer or an accountant or a consultant, because nobody wants to be a lawyer, a consultant or an accountant. They want to have the income and security that comes from those jobs. But do you, as a human being, do you want to spend your day adding up figures for a balance sheet or preparing the complicated text for a takeover of a company? No. You want to be doing amazing things that allow you to realize the best version of yourself. It's incredible. You're not going to have to do it. It's like me saying to my grandmother, who died sadly 2 years ago, age 96 or whatever, in 1920, 1935, we've invented the dishwasher. You're not going to have to wash up anymore or spend hours pulling water from a well, which is what most women did in America until about 1940. There's an extraordinary study on this. That hours a day were spent drawing water. Now you can turn the tap on. So the technological changes are going to liberate us in the same way they liberated people from manual tasks. No one's going to say, gosh, I've got rid of my dishwasher so I can do the washing up myself. We're going to say, how amazing. I don't need to have an accountant or a lawyer or a consultant. I can now focus my capital on other things. So leisure and culture become, like they did in ancient Greek times, the predominant activity of humans. And it's an amazing thing.